What's up, y'all? Back again today with a very special video. And today, I want to give a message to white people. Now, please hear me out. I'm not going to take too long. Now, if you've watched any of my other videos, I would hope that you at least gathered the fact that I am an individual that's here for righteousness and progression as a collective, all across the board. Irregardless of race, gender, anything of that nature, I'm a person who's here for a collective understanding, and I love anyone who loves me. I always have to preface that when I speak about racial issues, because the racial tensions and animosity between black and white and different races is very deep, especially in this country. So it's a very sensitive and touchy topic, and in order to thoroughly and, efficiently speak about these topics, we have to be very careful with our wording. So I always have to preface that by saying when I speak about racial issues. But yes, this video is a message to white people. Now, before I go any further, I have to explain something. There's a reason why I'm putting a quotation around white people. Now, I have to explain to you something. If you're white and you're watching this, if you refer to yourself as white and you're watching this video right now, if you say, oh yeah, my mom's white, my dad's white, I'm white, my brother's white, my cousin's white, my friends are white, if you refer to yourself as white, I need you to listen to this fact. No other society or nationality or group of people in history have ever been stripped from their language, their names, their spirituality, their religion, their culture, their heritage. No other group of people in recorded history have ever been stripped from these things in the same nature as the quote-unquote American black man or woman. This means the descendants of slavery who were stripped from everything that identified them as an individual. These are the only people who even have the right, who have even a reason to refer to themselves as anything other than their nationality. Now, I'm going to explain that a little bit further really quickly. When I say I'm black, there's a number of reasons that I mean when I say I'm black. But at the very least, you have to admit that I, as a person that was born in America, my parents born in America, grandparents born in America, I do not know where my lineage began. Because when I trace back far enough, I'm going to find that I was a slave, and as a slave, I was stripped from my name, my heritage, my culture, my spirituality, and most importantly, the landmass or the country in which I reside from. So this is why even Africans have a home. Even Africans don't have to call themselves black. If you're from Ghana, you say, I'm Guyanese. If you're from Nigeria, I'm Nigerian. This is your country. This is who you relate with. Although it doesn't mean that you only stick to that circle, but as far as identifying yourself, you can say, I'm from Nigeria and I have a strong heritage. I have a strong culture. This is our history. This is our food. This is our clothing. Similarly, if you're white, quote unquote, there's no reason for you to call yourself white, because again, you have not been stripped from your land. You have not been stripped from your heritage, your language, your culture. Okay? So if your descendants are from England, you say, I'm English, I'm from England, my parents are from England, I'm English. Switzerland, I'm from Switzerland. Russia, I'm Russian. Irish, Ireland. These are places in which you can literally trace back, because you have not been enslaved and stripped from your name, stripped from your culture, stripped from your land, and brainwashed into believing something that is not true. This has not happened to you, so you don't need to call yourself white. So that's why I wanted to explain that first of all. But the reason why I made this video, and I'm going to be very quickly, and I'm going to go back into that whole white topic at a different time. Believe me, white people, quote unquote, this is for you, or everyone non-black, but particularly white people, because this is where we find the most animosity, the beginning of the trouble with white and black people. Now, the inspiration for this video came from two particular people that are close associates of mine who are not black, and they're actually white. Now, one of them is a fellow YouTuber. I want you to go on YouTube right now, since you're on YouTube already. Type in different words, a call for an uprising. Type that in. You'll see a gentleman. I believe he's white. Now, at the very least, he's not black. Okay, so this is why I brought him up. This is a man named A Call for an Uprising. I watch his videos. He makes videos, I like to call them conscious videos. Videos that show you the things that are going on in the media from an alternative perspective, so that we can understand the deceit that has been given into us as a country. This is what A Call for an Uprising does. He's a Christian man. He believes in Christ, and he believes in righteousness. I've been watching his videos for a while. This man has 150,000 subscribers, okay? So now, when I say that I've been watching him, one day he watched one of my videos. Lo and behold, he got a way to find one of my videos, my little old channel, this man with 150,000 subscribers, and since then we've become very close. We subscribe to each other, we regularly comment on each other's videos, and he is a non-black man. And him, as well as a co-worker named Tyler, shout out Tyler if you're watching this, are two non-black men that I'm very close with, and I would ride for, okay? And I'm going to explain something here. I'm close with them. We have our own relationship that has nothing to do with race. This is about being the individual we are, okay? However, we have to understand that there are variables outside of our friendship that may intercede into our relationship eventually. For instance, A Call for an Uprising, I've seen a couple videos where he said he doesn't necessarily like, or he doesn't necessarily see why people bring up the race issue so much. And which I understand. I understand Call for an Uprising. I understand your position. As well as when I'm at work and I'm speaking about racial issues, Tyler hears, and I can tell that he stands back. Again, he's a blonde, blue-eyed white man, and he stands back, and he doesn't intercede, he doesn't make faces or anything, but I can tell he gets a little uncomfortable, or he's on alert. And I want to explain something very briefly. I'm not going to be long again. It's the simple fact that as a black man, I have come to the understanding, as you probably have as well as a non-black person, that black people, if there ever was a hierarchy, we're at the lowest part of the pyramid. And I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable with people viewing me and my family as animals. So I have to speak out against the atrocities that have been done to us and perpetuated to us to put us in this position, as well as I have to speak out and show, as a representative for true black people, how we can present ourselves to show an alternative viewpoint from the thug, gangster, you know, baby daddy stereotype, or whatever you want to call us. So this is why I speak out. So I wanted to make this video for people like A Call for an Uprising and people like Tyler, who may consider themselves white. Firstly, understand that white, destroy that term. Destroy that term, because that term is what is helping keep us in this paradigm that we're in right now. There's no white people. You're from Switzerland, you're from wherever, that's where you identify from. We call ourselves black because, first of all, black means the darkest hue, meaning the darkest color, because of the absence of light or the complete absorption of light. This means if you go in Google right now, again, another typing mission, go on Google right now and type in black definition. You'll see that the definition of black means it's the darkest color because either it has no light or it's completely absorbed with light. This means when I call myself black, it's for two reasons. One, because as a person, my heritage has been stripped from me, so I have no landmass to particularly identify that I originated from. But more importantly, I am black because I am absorbed with light. Sunlight, meaning melanin, and metaphysical spiritual light, meaning righteous information. So, with all that being said, white people, this is the message to you. I love you. But at the same time, there are a number of quote-unquote white people who name themselves white for a reason, who have perpetuated negative things and atrocities that have kept us as black people lower than them. Now, as a white person, you do not have to perpetuate these stereotypes, but if you go along and don't say anything about it, you're just as bad. This means your Grandpa Joe, this means your Aunt Sally who speaks bad about black people at the dinner table, you have to check them too. That's who I'm checking. I'm not checking just anybody. I'm not checking all Caucasian people. I'm checking those white people who have been doing bad things and treating us as less than human. And you have a responsibility to do it too. This is why I'm doing it. If you love me, I love you. And one more thing, before you leave, I need you to do one thing for me. Please, vibrate higher.